Hey yo, it's your boy Ancient Albatross back again with the Cypher Unlimited crew for part 2 of GM Roulette. This time we're playing Supers. And Dean, what happened last time?
Last time at GM Roulette, we had our intrepid adventurers first meeting you, the world, and everyone out there, villains, double crossed by other villains. So, in the midst of a bank heist, things went awry. The evil Dr. Destroyer set up our adventurers, and then ensued a car chase with the police through the city, and we met Captain Blast, and we also met a reporter who was interested in doing a expose on our villains. It ended with them seeing the manhole cover to a secret safe house being opened and them getting ready to investigate.
Yep, that sounds about right. So, yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm the GM at this point, and yeah, so I'm the third GM, and Steven, start that timer. I'm
Set
waiting
my
to hear.
alarm for
I'm
three
waiting to hear
minutes.
Siri.
Okay. I set an alarm for 1:15 a.m.
There we go. And so, you guys are at that abandoned parking lot type area garage. And you guys have just seen the manhole cover open and close. You don't know what exactly happened there, but that is the entryway to the Maggot's, one of her secret hideouts. And you gleaned that from Keen's ability to interface with technology, and he kind of learned their whereabouts. And yeah, what do you guys want to do? Oh, I believe Anthony, you as Bennett wanted to make sure that the coast was clear.
Yeah, I was scouting out while they were by the manhole cover
So
because we weren't being chased by the
yeah,
cops.
can you give me a perception roll, please?
Sure.
And yeah, you guys are still in in that garage, that abandoned garage with Bert Manley, the reporter from Villains Elite, a magazine that covers villains.
I
And
got a
what
13 on my perception.
So as you peek out to look around to make sure there's no one following you guys, you see basically a parade of police cars speeding by, but not down the street you guys are on. They didn't seem to have actually followed you all into where you went. They're just speeding off in the direction they thought you took. However, you do see when you peek out that to you saw that to the left, you saw that parade of police cars going one way, but when you look out to the right, you see like down the block, basically at the end of the block, you guys are towards basically one other end of the block. At the other end of the block on the right, you see Captain Blast walking away. You see he's fiddling with his like calm muttering to himself. You can't really hear what he's saying, but you can definitely hear noises coming from his direction. But he's not looking back at you all, and he's kind of walking in that direction. But you do see him there.
Oh, I like duck under almost like I'm hiding, and then I slowly start backing up towards the group.
Right. Seeing that Mr. Manley has just been abandoned.
One of you, I don't know who would see it first, but maybe even Mr. Manley notices. You see my character lining up a shot. Looks like he's getting ready to shoot Captain Blast in the back of the head. Easily.
It's up to you guys. Do you want to stop him from doing that, or do you want him to take the shot?
I wouldn't see that because I'm not with
Okay.
them.
So
That would be
here's
Manly
what happened.
and yeah.
I'll react to this, but first I am talking to Mr. Manley, seeing that finally Bennett isn't bending his ear over something, and I'm like, you see, and I just kind of getting a couple of scuff marks out of my bike here, and the attachment that he's been sitting in. I was like, you see this thing, Mr. Manley? This is a mean machine. This thing. Do you see? We outran Captain Blast. Captain Blast don't stand a chance. The cops were a joke. And
You see Manly's writing all this stuff down.
Wait. That is your King. That's your brother, man. That's your brother. You should not be shooting that man.
He's a jerkwad.
Yeah, but Mr. Manley is going to be writing an article, and we're just going to embarrass the crap out of your brother.
And you see Mr. Manley, like as soon as he sees that Keen is like lining up the shot, he has wide eyes like, is he really gonna do this? Like but he doesn't
And
like reach out or do anything to stop you,
Better
but he
yet, I'm going to go. I want to. Is he close enough that I could like take a picture of Captain Blast, kind of like not quite outfitted and muttering and cursing with my cell phone?
like I said, he's far down the block. If with your
Mm.
phone, you could probably zoom in and get like not a perfectly clear image, but enough to identify that it's him. You wouldn't be able to pick up any noise really, but you could make out that it's him walking down the street with half his armor on or whatever have you.
Even if I do it quick, I just want to take a quick picture. And I'm just going to tell Mr. Manley, listen, if we publish this just embarrass his brother to no end. In fact, you can just write in there, his brother is a villain.
All right. You see him writing that down, and yeah. So Dean, what are you doing?
I look over at Crazy Rider and I'm like, embarrassing? Make him look like a joke?
Yeah.
You're videoing, aren't you?
And I assume you're taking like a little video of him walking away, or
I'll take a little video. We can get closer, embarrass him some more.
I'm like, what if I like just, shoot him in the back of the head? He won't know where the shot came from.
Won't that kill him?
I don't know. He's got on there.
You see that like what Steven had described before. He's not actually in full armor. Most of it, like half of it, is basically on him, but part of his head is exposed. And if you were to hit him there, it might be fatal.
It's worth a try.
Wing him. I'm going to turn on the video, see if I can get like as much as I can on this. Just wing him.
All right, I'm going to put effort into it to hit him on the armored side, but
while all this is going on, the reason why I don't know what's happening is because I'm posting pictures of Maggot as Captain Powerful on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, every social media I can think of.
All right, so Dean, go ahead and take that shot if you'd like.
All right, here we go.
And you see that Captain Blast is completely oblivious to what's going on.
Okay,
He's still
so
fucking around with his.
I don't know what the difficulty is, but this is going to add. It's going to be 2 levels of effort. Well, 3 levels actually, because it's the one because of the power shift, and then my effort for the hit. So he'll take a grand total of 7 points of damage.
All right, go for it.
16.
All right, so you line up your shot, right? And you're gonna kind of wing him, right? You said.
Yeah.
So as soon as you aim it, right, and you press I don't know how you activate your gun, but you start to activate it. And would you like a GM intrusion?
Sure, why not? It's GM Roulette. You never say no.
And who's the other EXP going to?
Well, of course it has to go to the Crazy Rider.
So you gain EXP, both gain EXP. And as soon as you go to line up your shot, right? And right as you're pressing the button to shoot it, you see that the rest of Captain Blast's armor appears from around the corner and starts, getting on him. And as soon as it's all on him, he kind of blasts off to the right, and your shot misses, and he's out of sight now. He just he was oblivious to everything. He was just waiting for his armor to be fully on, and he dodges out of the way. And you hear the of his jet engines or whatever, and he's not there anymore.
All right.
While because I saw the blast, because I was, by the front doing lookout. I turn around and I go, "Hey guys," because I still have my fake masculine voice. "Hey guys, you ever notice this? Captain Blast, Captain Powerful. Do these supers have any privates in their army? Makes no sense."
Oh boy. Oh man.
As I start walking towards the group.
All right, let's go get Maggot.
But Steven, you definitely were able to capture a video of him as all that happened, though.
Sure. And I'm going to look at Mr. Manley, and I'm going to tell him, I hope you wrote that down.
You see him. He's like, oh.
Superheroes, the heroes have no privates.
You see him. No privates. No privates. Got it. All captains. No privates. He's like oblivious to the joke you're making. And so what are you guys doing?
I'm not joking. Those guys just don't have the. We're going to the manhole.
We're going after Maggot.
All right, so you guys walk towards the manhole, and again, you see that there's nothing around. It's late at night. The police, you see the last car zoom off to the left down that other side street, and it's basically clear here. There's no civilians. It's like in the middle of the night.
If I'm the last person going down the manhole, can I close it back up?
Yeah, most definitely. So you guys go and you figure out how to get it open. It's not very difficult. It's basically a regular manhole cover. You just lift it up. I don't know which one of you wants to do that, but one of you goes and moves it aside, and you start descending. Oh, go on.
Just to clarify a power real quick. What didn't my vehicle like come into?
Wait, what?
You can make it appear.
You can make it appear and disappear at will.
Oh, okay. So it's just appear, disappear.
Yeah. So if you want to bring it with you, just make it disappear, and when you get down there, you make it reappear if you want.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna make sure it's disappeared first.
Yep. So you
hold it in my little pocket dimension that I keep.
Yeah, you could definitely do that.
Pocket garage dimension.
And you guys start descending down the sewer. Start making your way down. Bennett is the last one. Before she's all once she's all the way down, she closes. You hear the clunk of the metal hitting the metal and closing, and you guys start climbing down. It's a pretty deep descent, maybe like 30 feet, 40 feet. You guys are really going down there. Maggot wants to make sure that her little hideout is pretty inaccessible to the top streets. You guys are climbing down. Takes you a couple, however long. And as you guys are getting down to the bottom, you see that you guys are now in a room that's maybe like 6 feet, not 6 feet. It's a small size room. I'm bad at dimensions. This is the smallest room. It fits you 4 comfortably, counting Mr. Manley. He went down with you because he wants to document everything that's going on. And you guys find yourself again in a small room, facing like big metal doors that have like an electronic lock on it, and they look sealed. And you know that Maggot likes to keep her stuff secure. And there's this big metal door with a lock in your way. What are you guys doing?
I'm just gonna bow to Bennett and say, "After you, my dear."
You see Bennett walks, and she starts stretching her knuckles, cracking her shoulder. Yeah, this is good villain work right here.
Bennett.
Yes?
You're going to hit the door, aren't you?
That was the plan.
You know what will be smarter?
I'm listening.
I'm
listening. Oh, I'm listening.
Maggot always tries to talk about how dumb we are, but most of the time villains put these great big doors up, but the wall adjoining it isn't all that tough. You could just go through a wall a whole lot easier than worrying about beating on a big old door.
Is you said it's a small room. Is it all door or is there wall?
So there's it's like it's like 3 walls, and then the 4th wall would be the door where the door is, and there's like a little electronic panel or whatever have you, and it looks like brick. Like again, you're like in a sewer type area, so there's like a lot of brick and concrete or whatever. You see some pipes maybe, but yeah, there are walls. And I guess the wall behind you is where the ladder was, and then you have like the 2 other walls to the left and right are bare. Yeah.
So I'll try to hit the wall though.
Left or right?
Let's go with right.
Okay. So you're just trying to smash the wall down?
Well, no, like right where the door. You know how where the door and the wall would come together.
I see what you mean. Yeah, you could definitely aim for that spot.
That way he can just tear the door out as opposed to trying to beat on the door itself.
I'll definitely allow that. And I would say it's a little bit easier because you are aiming for that weak spot.
Do I have to roll to hit? Or
Yes, you definitely have to roll to see if you go and tear that off, or get a good grip or whatever have you, however you want to do it.
all right, I got a 17 on the roll.
Yeah, you definitely go
Listen.
and I don't know how you want to flavor it, but you dig your fingers in there and you like peel it away, or you just punch
Yeah.
it until it comes off. I don't know how you
You know,
want. I'll
I have
let you describe it.
smashing and breaking, plus I have 2 strength power shifts. So I'm actually gonna punch a hole right through the wall, and once I get my hand, past the initial brick, then I'm like grab it from the inside and pull outwards. Once again, I'm throwing all the bricks behind me. Behind.
You guys don't have to roll because again you're used to it. There's all this debris being thrown about by Bennett, but somebody roll for Mr. Manley because he is not accustomed to all this.
I'll roll for him. I'm currently bending his ear, so got an 11.
Oh yeah, so he pretty much like he saw what was going on and he saw what happened before with the revolving doors. So he kind of expected something like this. So he was able to like press himself against the wall and avoid being hit by that debris. But as soon as you tear that wall open, you see a giant automaton right behind the wall with a gun that was basically expecting you all. And you hear whoop, and he takes a shot at like you because you're in the front, Mr. Bennett. So he's gonna
Okay.
get or Mrs. Bennett, and he's gonna get that free shot off you. Then it'll be initiative, and this is a
All right.
big hulking like 7 foot tall, like it looks like he's wearing power armor. You can't tell if it's a guy in armor or just a robot, but it's a pretty beefy looking thing that's standing before you.
So this is a speed defense roll, right?
Correct.
I got a 4.
You want to re-roll it, or you're just gonna take it?
Nah, I'll take it.
So you see that
Armor.
you see this giant, basically plasma cannon, like, boom, and he blasts you on the shoulder, dealing 6 damage. It's a heavy weapon.
Does my 1 point of armor count?
Yeah, I'll say it counts.
Alright.
And so you take 5 damage,
Yeah.
and you're sent back because the blast was so intense. And yeah, you guys now see this giant suit of metal. You again don't know if there's a person inside or if it's a robot or whatever have you. It's just big hulking, massive metal with a huge
Does it
gun.
pull me back off the wall?
Yeah, it basically like the shot was so powerful that it slammed you into the wall behind you. Like you get, and
So when it slams behind me, my visor goes up, and he could see that I'm actually a woman.
you see Mr. Manley look over. He starts jotting stuff down, but you see he's like cowering like in the back corner of the room, like he doesn't want to get involved in what's happening here. But he's furiously taking notes. So roll for me initiative, fellas. And essentially,
I got an actual 20.
this robot is I'll just tell you the difficulty to beat him will be difficulty 5. So anyone who rolls higher than a 15 or higher will go before him. Anyone who rolls lower goes after him.
Yeah,
So
I rolled
natural
two.
20. You rolled a 2. So you will be going after. And Dean.
I wrote exactly a 15.
All right. So you'll be going. You two will be going before. And Anthony, you can add something to what's going on right now if you'd like. And Mr. Manley, there's no roll for. He's not gonna fight. He's just like you see him like trembling, like, but he's still taking notes in his little notepad.
So I'm going first. Is the hole big enough for us to get a clear view of this?
Essentially, what's behind the robot is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
It's essentially when you open the doors, you see that it's actually like a hallway that he's like basically blocking. Damn it, my headset. That he's blocking the way of. I stepped on my cable, but he's like he's a pretty wide thing. Like again, you don't know if it's a person or a robot, but he's wide enough that his like shoulders and arms are like almost touching the walls next to him. It's probably like 5 feet across, but it's a hallway. You don't know what's behind him. You can see some lights and stuff back there, but you can't make out anything.
All right, so could we say for my natural 20, when I ripped the concrete wall, the stone wall you said, it created dust that got in its senses and it gave us an asset on all attacks against it?
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Mhm.
Yeah, so for one round, you guys will be one step easier to hit him.
Yep. All right, and so for my action, I'm going to get up and I'm going to run and try to, Jessica Jones power punch it.
All right, go for it. Give me that roll.
Do I need a speed roll first, or I'll be
Yeah,
able to use?
it's a pretty small like I said room, so you're not really running too far. You could probably even leap with your strength and get them. Like there's no
Yeah.
real running involved, so it's just the
Oh,
attack
okay.
roll. I'll
All
let
right.
you decide if you want to use might or speed for that. And
Gonna use speed.
yeah, you go to punch this thing and
Actually, I'm gonna use might because I have a
go for it.
strength power. The strength power, is that for damage or to hit and damage?
Oh, who made the character?
That
Like,
should be if it's just might, it'll be for damage. It won't be for to hitting.
Okay. So I got 2 shifts, so it's an additional 6 points of damage on top of my punch, correct?
correct.
But yeah, okay. All right, I got an 18 on the roll.
Oof. Yeah, so you go and you punch him, right? And that 18 is 2 extra damage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the bonus.
That's
And
10
then
damage
so
total.
you're doing what is
So
it?
10 total.
Extra.
Yeah, so you go and you punch. Where are you aiming to punch it? Either way, you're gonna hit it pretty hard.
The chest.
So you go and you punch him, right? I don't know. Again, you flavor however you want, but
Yeah, I jump up and I go, villains do villainous things. And I punch it in the chest.
so you punch him, right? And he goes staggering back. And as he's staggering back, and your punch blows and knocks him back, you can see like all this metal and shit or stuff fly off of his chest, and you see parts like LED lights and wires and such.
Yeah.
But as you make that hole, you can kind of see there's a vest underneath, and you know that there might most likely is a person under there. But that chest area is now exposed.
I
Um,
did 10 points.
Yeah, and you did 10 points of damage to him. And he's looked like he's like kind of wobbling on his feet now at this point. And you did a pretty hefty sum of damage to him. Dean?
Well, since he exposed that area for me, I'm just gonna raise the arm up and sight in and let the flechettes fly
Oh boy, go for it.
right there at the center of the body.
And remember, it's one step easier because he has dust in his centers. And do you have shifts that make it easier or the gun shift, right?
Yes.
So it's 2 steps
pretty-
easier. So it's difficulty
Right.
2 or 6 or better to hit him.
All right. 20.
All right, so you basically aim the shot. I don't know what you say or how you do it, but as soon as you
It's a mental command. It's mental.
got it, so you aim it, think about. You all see it as almost in slow motion. As soon as like you see, I'm flavoring this for you, but you see like the blue of the glow of the gun, and then all the bullets fly out, and you see him hit this guy in the chest, and he's like, there's a lot of blood coming out. It was an actual person, and you hear like a gurgling, and you start to like you see like he had that metal mask on, or that person had a metal mask on, and like it had like kind of vents in the mouth so they could breathe or whatever have you, and you start seeing blood coming out of there, and as soon as like a few moments after the shots go off, you hear he falls to his knees and falls face down, and he's dead.
I ripped
How
the
many
mask
licks
off.
does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a robot pop?
I ripped the mask off to see if we know who this person is.
You take the mask off, and again, there's like a bunch of blood pooled in the mask, and there's blood pooled around him now because of the grievous wounds he just sustained. And you see that he's just one of these like average lackeys that their villain organization happens to hire. We'll call him George. You know that was George, and you probably had lunch with him at some point. You talk about villainous stuff with him, but you weren't really friends or anything. It's just one of your associates from the organization.
Never
But-
liked him anyway.
No, we usually snickered behind George's back. So.
And yeah,
Feel bad about it, right, guys?
Oh man, George.
so he
You see the size of his head. He didn't deserve to live.
and you
I
see
got invited to his son's bar mitzvah next Wednesday. That is horrible.
You know what? George's wife was pretty hot.
oh my God.
I'm gonna have to go see her. I'll console her. Yeah.
So as this guy is basically murdered
I
right in
call- I
front
call
of
dibs
you
on
all,
the stereo.
you guys do know where his quarters is if you guys were
Oh, yeah,
ever head
yeah,
back to the
yeah.
villain. But you see Mr. Manley, his eyes are really wide, and he actually turns around to the corner and throws up. Like he has never really been this close to like action and especially not murder. So he has a pretty weak stomach and he's covered villains before, but he's never been in the fray. So it's a little like nerving for him. So you hear him.
I'm,
Like,
I'm gonna look over my shoulder and go, best story ever, right, Mr. Manley?
and as you say that to him, he turns around. And he has like you see a puddle of vomit on the floor, and he like wipes his mouth. It's amazing. It's I'm sorry, but it's incredible.
So, Mr. Manley, how many articles have you written for Villain Elite?
He says this has only been my third. I've only really covered small time villains. I was told you guys would be small time villains too. You see, he's like shaking as he's writing. He's like, but I'm I'm pretty excited to be here. I'm not gonna lie. Don't let my bodily functions fool you. No, I've never really seen someone get killed before.
Well, as I stand a little bit taller, I'm just like, I'm glad you were misinformed.
I'm gonna Al. Can I spend 2 XP for a player intrusion?
Go for it.
All right, so that puts me down to 4 XP. I'm gonna reach down on George's uniform and pull off his stim pack and just inject Mr. Manley with it. Here you go. This will help.
All right, you could definitely do that, right? And what you guys know from like the stim packs and stuff that George or even other villains might carry around is it's not just a stim pack in that like it might help, like give them adrenaline or whatever have you. These are like a villainous like serum almost, and now he's gonna be a little more powerful, Mr. Manley. So you kind of see like you inject him, like you don't even warn him or you stick it in his arm or whatever have you, and you see him like shaking a little bit, and he's wearing a suit, right? So you see like the arms of the suit start bulging. It don't rip or anything, but you kind of see like his neck gets a little bit thicker, like Bane style, like he starts seeing a veiny, and you can see he's like, "What did you do to me?"
Well, at least he's not changing into a turtle like the last guy.
I look at Mr. Manley. I go, "Welcome to the world of villainy for the next few hours."
And after a few seconds of like that, like shaking, convulsing as it like settles down in his blood, you hear a as he exhales. And he's like looking at his hands, and he's looking at his other hands, and you see him like slam the wall and like makes a big hole in the brick. And he looks at his hand, and you guys see his hand doesn't really look damaged or anything, maybe like rubble on it, and he's like, "Does feel good."
I know, right?
I want to
Awesome. You gotta break stuff every day.
Keep up with us just that a little bit easier. Now I'm gonna look past George's remains and see what is beyond George.
So essentially, can you give me a perception roll actually? But the vague thing that you all see, what'd you roll?
1.
After 20.
All right. So you see a long hallway, maybe about 10, 15 feet long, maybe 20. What I'm bad at distances, but whatever. You see a long hallway, and along the hallway is a mismatch or mashup of like again you see that brick along those walls and such, but you also see a lot of electronic components like screens and like panels for inputting data or whatever have you, and you also see pipes and stuff like someone built like basically a lair within the sewers, and beyond that, like you with your natural 20, I say you got a really good look at what's ahead. You just see another, like it looks like a bigger room opening, and just from the tip of your vision you can see there's a giant console in there, like a big old screen, like a really like maybe like 30 feet tall, not 30 feet, like a 10-foot tall screen, 20-foot tall, whatever have you, with a large like thing in front of it like to input stuff. And something else you glean with that, just because you got such a high roll, you also know that Maggot is known for like being devious and tricky. So you know that most likely along from here to there, there's going to be something of a trap of sorts. And what would you like to include with your 20?
I think I would like to include. I'd like to have more know where a trap is. Like maybe I've been in this hallway before.
All right, yeah. So you know that about halfway down the hallway, there's going to be like a trip wire, like a laser, not an actual wire, like an invisible laser you can't see unless you had known about it or had like a bunch of smoke in the room or whatever have you. But you know specifically where it is and how to avoid it. And you know that if you were to trip it off, there'd be like probably two guns that'll come up from the ceiling and just fire on that spot.
Steven, I'm sorry. What you call it?
Crazy
Mac,
Rider or
yeah.
Mac, yeah.
Mac, do you tell us this?
I've looked at Mr. Manley. Crazy Rider.
You see him?
Crazy Rider. Hey, uh, yeah, no. I've been down here in our secret lair before. There's totally a trip. There's a trip laser here. I can point to you guys where it is, but you gotta be careful. There's bullets. Bullets will fly if you guys do.
I said, don't worry. And then I go grab George and throw him at the trip wire.
You could definitely do that. So, give me the. I'll say it's might or speed. I'll let you choose because you're throwing a big guy.
I mean, I
But-
got 2 power shifts and strength.
Yeah, so it'd be pretty easy for you if you use strength. Yeah.
So I go lift George up, and I was like, I was the last person you invited to this bar mitzvah. Why? I thought we were cool, and I throw him at the tripwire.
So I heard the alarm. So this is gonna be the last thing I do, basically. So roll for that. Just to see if you accurately got it to where the laser is. And yeah, we'll see what happens.
I got a 1.
Right. So you go right, and you run to try to like you get that momentum to throw him right, like the little bit of like 3 steps, and you go to run right. But as soon as you like go to like you're a little excited about this for some reason or nervous or whatever, however you want to flavor it, and as you go to let him go. Instead of like the momentum throwing him forward, you actually lunge forward, and like you like kind of trip on his leg or whatever have you, and you roll into the tripwire. And now I need you to you hear the and you see 2 like basically machine guns lower from the ceiling, and they're gonna fire a barrage of bullets in your location for like a second, and then they'll be deactivated. But now this is a speed defense roll to see if you know.
Can I apply a level of effort to this?
You definitely can, and on top of this is a pretty beefy trap. Like it's basically 2 heavy guns. If you do take the damage, it's gonna be 10 points of damage.
Okay. That's going to knock me down 2 tracks.
What?
Well,
All right, I took a level of effort and I got an 8 on the roll.
Just wait, and do you have anything else to make it easier, or was it just the 1 easement?
Just a while. I don't have anything speed based.
All right, so unfortunately,
at
you
least
said
got armor.
you said you rolled the 8, right?
Yeah. Oh, hold on. I got an XP. I'm going to reroll that.
You definitely want to reroll that.
I got a 4 on the reroll.
All right, so
I want to give this guy an XP. This is going to be horrible.
yeah,
No,
go.
I could get knocked down on the
sure?
damage check.
It's your guys' call, but I can tell you that it's gonna hit him. So you
Yeah.
you go and you again. It's gonna be 1 less damage because you have the armor.
What
Take
happened?
an XP.
So I'll take 9. Nah, I'll take the damage. What the hell?
So you take
Word.
you what you all see is these 2 guns basically come down and start unload, and you
And
see
I'm
like
damn you, George.
yeah,
I'm getting it.
yeah. And then you see him fall down or see her fall
All right,
down.
so my might is at 0. 'Cause I took 9. And my speed is currently at 4.
All right, so you drop down a track, so you're impaired.
Yeah.
Um,
I got the super strong guy and all my points are in intellect.
and
Are these, guns stopping shooting him? Like,
Wait.
does it stop after 1 round? Or
yeah, no, it stops. Like it's basically set up to like unload all the ammo it has, and then you see like the steam rising from the muzzles of the gun, and you know, especially you, Crazy Rider, that thing is not going to activate anymore. And
I know if this is the only one.
Scene. And scene.
End scene.
So, right now, I'm currently like, you remember Platoon when
Yeah.
getting shot?
Oh my god. And so now I will be taking over as Keen. What's your
The
sentence
Steel
again?
Wolf.
The vengeful explorer who fuses flesh with steel. And Dean will be handling the last leg of our adventure here.
And you currently have 4 XP.
All right, so I have 4
Your,
EXP, and what are my current pools?
your current speed pool is 14,
Okay,
and your everything else is normal.
so 16, 14, 10.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's all I need to know for Mr. Keen. And
The
Dean,
other one is known as Steel Wolf. Yes.
Ready to start?
Steel Wolf is his villain name.
Dean, at the beginning of your turn, I want to take a 10-minute recovery roll.
Oh my
Hold
god.
on. I got a GM intrusion for you if you want it.
Wait. So are you starting the timer now? Because if you're doing
Yes,
GM
start the
intrusions,
timer.
that's to start the timer.
Set my alarm for 35 minutes.
And who's the GM intrusion for?
For Anthony.
Miss
All right, I'll
Bennett.
take it.
You will?
Yeah, I'll give it to Al for filling me up with bullet holes.
All right, so I have 5 now.
You see Manly, you see Mr. Manly kind of walk up on you. He's got this weird gleam in his eye. And he goes, "That was impressive." And he reaches down and grabs a tube off of George, the other spicker off of George's arm, and sticks you with it.
Oh, nice.
Roll a. Oh, wait a minute. You don't have any might right now, do you?
My might is 0.
Okay, perfect. Your might is now whatever half your pool is.
All right, so it'll be 6.
Okay, so your might is now at 6, and you're hungry, and you really want you're really in the mood to fight. You're like overly aggressive. You're feeling kind of overly aggressive right now.
You got that roid rage.
Whiskey on an empty stomach.
Before we continue forward, though, I still want to take a recovery roll because
Go
I'm
ahead.
still banged up.
And if possible,
I got a 5 plus 1 is 6, so I'm a.
and within those same 10 minutes, if it's okay with you, Dean, I would like to have Steel Wolf, rush over to his ally's side, seeing how shot up she got, and reach into his bag of light tools and possibly whip out some bandages and apply them to maybe apply a little bit more healing and do like one of those healing rolls. And I
Go
want
for
to try to heal 3 points of damage. That'll be difficulty 3 roll
Yep.
To me or to.
to you to help you
Okay.
out. And
So-
let's do that difficulty 3 roll. I rolled a 15, so I successfully
You got 3
bandaged.
more points to add to another pool.
Oh, okay.
You see me whip
All
out
right.
bandages and
I can add it to any pool?
Well, not intellect.
Okay. Trust me, I don't need anything on my intellect is super high. All right,
But,
so I'll add it to my might, so it puts me back to my normal number. So I'm at 11, 8, 15.
you
All right.
essentially see Steel Wolf moving like faster than the eye can watch as he applies these bandages onto Miss Bennett.
All right. So you guys are moving forward. You, like I said, you see all this stuff you see the big screen down there, and you hear voices down the hall. It goes, "Damn it! You knocked out the cameras, but they're idiots. Nobody could survive that bullet barrage. Not even a dunklehead Bennett. She's such an idiot. You know what? I hated her.
Do we recognize the voice?
Yeah.
Is this
it's
over
Maggot.
in the com?
No, this is Maggot down at the end of the hall.
Oh, we can see her?
You
We
hear
hear
her.
her.
You hear her.
So hearing her, Steel Wolf, he wants to, exact his vengeance on her for betraying him. So he starts bolting down the hallway to get there.
I scream out still because I'm still on the floor with all, my outfit has all these like bullet holes. I go, check your Instagram.
I'm running behind Steel Wolf as much as I can catch up with him.
All
You,
right.
see, you see Steel Wolf do a front flip over Bennett and start bolting.
All right. So you guys, run down the hall, and just as you get to where you would actually be going into the other room, I need you to make a speed defense roll.
I'm assuming that's me first because I was the first one to run
Yes.
over there.
Yes.
All right, so I'm training speed defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or specialized because I'm not wearing
You're
armor.
specialized.
Yep.
You're specialized in speed defense.
And then I also have that dex shift, which I assume will
Right.
count towards this, so it's 3 steps easier for me to miss or dodge this.
Right.
And I rolled a 17.
Okay. You amazingly, Steven, give me a roll too. It's a difficulty 5.
5. Okay, and I gotta ask because it looks like I forgot to write it down. For a crazy driver, what power shifts do you have?
Oh, I told you he has 2 shifts in single attack, with the single attack being hitting somebody with
that's
his
right.
motorcycle.
That's what I wrote.
So
down.
it does extra damage and it's easier to hit people
I'm
with
trained in speed defense.
it. Yes.
Okay.
I rolled a 19.
Okay, perfect. He's again, like you said, Steel Wolf takes off down the hall, and he's moving down the hall, and at the last second, you feel the buzz, you feel the hairs on the back of your head and or on your body start to stand up, and you realize that doorway has either a force field or some kind of electrified field, and you reach back just in time and put your hand out in front of in front of Crazy Driver because he's like right on your heels, and both of you stop just short, and that's when you get there and you hear, and there's a field of energy that you would have passed through and gotten hurt had you passed through it.
Sure. Can I see Maggot on the other side?
You can see Maggot and some silhouetted figure she's talking to.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
For my minor effect, here's what I want to do. This is what I've been wanting to do to her ever since she betrayed us back in the bank and then swarmed us with flies and just made this one hell of a night. Would you allow me to materialize my motorcycle and cab above her head?
Go for it.
Okay, what would you want me to roll for that?
Give me a dex roll, an attack roll.
All right. Will that count as my vehicle as a weapon?
Yes.
I'm gonna put 2 levels of effort in that. I have 2 power shifts for it.
So you put 2 levels of effort to hit her, or 2 levels of effort more damage?
Well, it's for the ability to hit it, right?
Well, I'm pretty sure in the book.
With his thing, it's for both because he has a single used for a single attack, so it's for attack and
that.
So
Oh,
that's
for the effort. Yeah,
the effort is for is going to be for hitting her.
So it's 4 steps easier for you to hit her
4
right
steps
now.
easier to hit her.
Don't roll a 1.
I got 12.
Okay.
I was holding my breath. I was like, oh my god.
So, the motorcycle appears. At the top of the ceiling?
Yeah, right with the ceiling. Like it was parked on the ceiling above her.
And it comes down. Smash! How much damage does it do total?
I think we were counting it as a heavy weapon, so it'd be 6 and then plus 6, so 12.
Yeah, okay.
That damage.
Oh, God. All right. So,
Just like Oh yeah.
You drop your motorcycle on Marionette, and the Maggot. You drop it on her, and
Don't forget, Maggot has the ability to shrink. So
yeah, I know, but he like overcame her. There's no. The only way I would have got her out of it is if he had missed. He didn't roll. He didn't roll a 1. He eased it by 4 steps to hit her.
That's what being a super is about, or a super villain.
So
I know we like the super villain supers.
so
Death by motorcycle.
needless to say, she's like really not happy. She's pinned under the crazy cycle, and now just as you did that, you hear, "You dare!" And stepping out of the shadow, you guys realize that it's Dr. Destroyer's drone, the Dreadnought. You guys have never seen Destroyer himself. He always is in the shadows and stuff, but he sometimes sends this thing out that apparently you guys think he controls it, but they call it the Dreadnought. It's an 8.5-foot tall, completely metallic monstrosity. It has 4 arms and this scorpion tail, and it shoots eye beams. And it's like, "You dare harm one of my lieutenants? Now you will feel the wrath of Dr. Destroyer."
By this time, because I wasn't there for this, I should have gotten to the.
Yeah, you're there.
There's still a force field between us.
Well,
said
the
there was
force field's getting ready to go down. You guys are going to be rolling initiative.
All right. Before that happens, I'm taking a picture of Maggot for Instagram.
It's like, smile.
Not only am I taking a picture, it's a selfie picture. Like,
You guys are the worst of villains ever.
We are number 1.
This is my shot.
everybody's jumping in the selfie.
Yes.
All right.
We even got the reporter in there. Like, get in here.
You see him like flexing because he's all roided out still.
Roll initiative, guys.
I got a 2.
But I'm using Danger Sense, and I rolled 19.
I rolled a natural 20.
Okay, so your special for this will be, you can have one of 2 things. You can either have a free attack, or you can move Anthony up into, you can move Bennett up into the initiative track.
Oh no! I mean, that is actually something I really enjoy doing with my 20s. So that's what I was actually gonna say if I can do. That I'm so quick to the draw that I actually grab Bennett and run into the fray and actually make her go in our order as well.
All right. So
For my 19,
yeah, you want a minor effect?
put my car back in my pocket garage.
Oh, yeah, you make it go away. That's easy.
And yeah.
All right, so you guys have initiative.
So as soon as I'll go first, I guess. I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but
Okay. Oh,
yeah,
can I do
go on.
mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just made it disappear. Well, it's parked on the ceiling above her again.
Oh my god.
So you're gonna drop it on Maggot again?
Yeah.
That poor
I hate
Villainous.
this bee.
Just roll it. Just don't roll a 1.
Oh,
Did you roll a 1? Oh my god.
I rolled a 1.
I'll give you 1 XP to re-roll it.
I'll spend the XP to reroll. I got plenty.
I have 5.
I know the intrusion's just gonna. 20.
Wow, okay. Wait, so did you use your XP then, or?
I used my XP.
All right, so I still have 5.
I got plenty enough.
All right. So, Maggot is completely gone. She's like a smear now.
Those are
Yeah,
like
you
16
just
damage.
smashed Maggot completely. Maggot is now Maggot food. And now, Steel Wolf, your action.
All right, so I want to do something a little outrageous, but I'll give you discretion to say if it's okay or not. I want to spend 3 EXP to do like a really crazy player intrusion. So essentially, I want Steel Wolf to like reach out his I forget the words used for his gun, the fachetta gun or whatever have you.
Flechette.
I don't know the word.
Flechette.
So either way, he goes and he starts to activate it, right? And as he's activating it, he puts his left arm over it, and you can see him kind of like working the console, whatever. And you see the barrels of the gun get even larger, and you hear like a large as each of the barrels gets bigger and as it's charging. So essentially, with my 3 XP, I want to add temporary power shifts to like single attack, 1 per EXP spent. So it'd be like, or you could delegate it however you wish, but essentially, I want to have temporary power shifts to hitting and damage just for this one attack with 3 EXP. It's your call, though. And I want to hit Dreadnought, if I wasn't clear.
Well, Maggot's done getting hit.
we can even
hit her, but she's dead.
we can even say it's 1 power shift, and I'm okay with that.
Okay, we'll go with 1.
All right, so I take 1, and again, this is the single attack, so it makes it easier to hit and does more damage. So I'm aiming my, you see it get bigger, and I go and you see like his arm basically gets thrown back from the recoil as this huge burst. His thing is normally silent, but this time it actually makes a loud noise as it explodes towards him. It's basically trying to shoot explosive rounds at him, and so it's 2 steps easier due to the gun asset I have and then the power shift I just gave myself. And I'm gonna use effort as well. So I'm only gonna use 1 effort, so drop my speed by 1. And so it's 3 steps easier for me to hit him. And if I hit him, it's gonna do 10 damage. Is that cool? Dean, you're muted by the way. Okay. Alright.
That won't be 10. That will be
It's 7.
because let me see.
You got 2 power
It's
shifts
7?
already, right?
No, I have the 1 shift in the gun. You said the gun earlier was 7 damage.
Right.
And then the 1 power shift that I'm using for the single attack adds 3, so it'd be 10.
Oh, you didn't use any other
No. And the effort I'm using right now is to hit, not to damage.
Okay, so go ahead. All right, what did you roll?
No, I didn't roll it. I was waiting for the confirmation. But right now it's 3 steps easier for me to hit him.
Right. So
And let's see, come on, big money.
you need to roll a 12 or better.
I rolled a 3. I'm using my one of my 2 remaining EXP to reroll that. So I have 1 left. I do not want to miss this. Like I'm basically going full ham on him. I rolled a 19 this time.
So that's another
And instead of getting the minor effect, I'm gonna do the extra damage. So that's 3 extra damage. So it'd be 13 damage total.
Okay, so you guys see Steel Wolf, kind of drop down to 1 knee and reaches over the top of his arm, and you see the barrels, start literally what they do is the barrels come up, the mini flechette barrels that are normally there, and they kind of form into 3 different barrels, and you just see this burst of blue, but it's just 3 larger bolts, and it's red knot square in the chest, and one of its arms, you hear a cracking sound, and one of its arms gets blown off, one of the 4 arms.
I look at Mr. Manley, I say, and that's how you do it.
Crazy Rider?
No, you mean Bennett.
I mean Bennett, yes. I'm sorry.
Right.
Crazy Rider.
Bennett is going to use Careful Shot. She's also going to pull out her gun and apply the 2 levels of effort from her gun to the damage. And since she has this ability that you can either spend points from speed or intellect pool, so I'll subtract that. And if I hit, it's an additional 10 points of damage on top of my weapon, which is so it'll be 15 points of damage. And I got a 16 on the roll.
This poor Dreadnought.
I think we've been underestimating.
And I'm not aiming for the arms. I'm aiming for the chest area.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. He hit in the chest too. He just blew an arm off from the blow. It was just that powerful. So Bennett, following suit, drops down to one knee right from the other side. Takes this shot, and you hear the report from this big magnum, boom, and the round flies true and hits the thing like right through one of his eyes, and you see components. You see the back of his head jump out, and the components come out, and it's and it starts to fall over, and it hits the ground. I have a group intrusion if you guys want it.
I will take it.
I have 0 XP, so I'll definitely take it.
I have
right.
2 now.
So as the thing falls to the ground, it hits the ground and it shatters. And when it shatters, you guys hear this eerie sound, and the pieces, actually at first it's just like they roll across the floor, but then they start to skitter and they start to grow legs like insects. And they're like large, arachnid type insects. And they start to reform into something else, and they start surging towards you.
How many of them?
4.
Not bad.
They got scorpion tails.
What's behind all this?
This is basically her safe house. So this was like a monitor room. It kind of reminds you of like a 1970s crash pad type deal, but just more modernized.
And we don't see Dr. Destroyer anywhere, do we?
No. Like I said, Dr. Destroyer has been known. Normally, you've never seen him in person. So even the information that got leaked, you're not even sure whose information that really was. But
do I see the loot from the bank of whatever they took?
You don't know what it was.
But nothing out of the ordinary sitting around? I figure we caught him in the act of handing it off here.
Give me a perception roll.
Oh, I haven't been using my gunner ability.
10?
Nothing. You don't identify anything.
All right. Well, I think I just got to prepare for the hit.
Are they getting an attack on us, or we'd have to re-roll initiative?
We're going to re-roll initiative.
Okay.
I got a 16.
I got a 12.
Got a 4.
All right, Anthony. You and Al both go. Stephen, they beat you.
I'm gonna use my explosive round cipher.
Okay.
And I'm a fire. It lets me fire a round at and deal additional damage to target equal to the cipher level. It's a level 6 cipher, and half damage to all within immediate range.
Go for it.
And I'm gonna apply a level of effort to hit.
So roll a 9 or better.
I got an 18.
Oof.
So
you add the extra damage.
Yeah, so I'm gonna add the extra damage. So it'll be 5 plus 7 plus 6. It'll be 13. And half of that to everything within immediate range.
One of them.
Up my D&D min-maxing.
One of the one that you hit initially, you hit the one, you aim perfectly, and the one you hit, it kind of blows up, and you blow off like 3 of his legs, and it looks like the worse for wear, but it still has a little life left in it. It's still skittering towards you.
And all the other 3 take damage, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Al.
I aim my gun right at one of the other ones, like the one that didn't take the massive blow. Just try to finish off of maybe one that was not the weakest one, but one of the other ones. And you see the flechetta gun go off. And it's one step easier with that asset. I'm going to use effort for damage. 2 things of effort for damage. So drop my speed by 5. Yep. So to 8. And I roll that out. I rolled a natural 1. I'm not re-rolling. I'll take the natural 1.
You yeah, so you go to fire and it hits, but there's a feedback and it blows you backwards across the room and you hit the wall. You take 3 points of damage from impacting the wall, 3 points of might damage.
Got it.
That hasn't happened in a long time.
I get caught off guard. Oh, you see him like trying to shake it off.
All right. So these four things, one of them, as you're like sailing back through the air, it leaps, and when you hit the wall, it's trying to hit you. Give me a speed defense roll.
All right. I'm specialized in
Difficulty
speed
4.
defense. Not going to use any effort. Wait, almost fell off the table. I rolled a 15.
Okay. So you were able to maneuver just enough, even though you're sailing backwards and going to slam into the wall. You turn slightly, and the thing hits the wall, and it's got these hooked spikes that have dug into the wall, and it's almost like you see like the head is on a swivel, and it swivels back and it looks at you, and it, and the tail is like that at you. Steven, one of them is charging towards you, and as it gets near you, its tail comes up and it strikes at you with its tail. Speed defense.
All right, I'm trained in speed defense. I rolled a 13.
That's enough. You dodge out of the way. You sidestep it. Anthony.
Yes, sir.
The one you blasted almost to pieces and the other one are both coming at you. So I need you to make 2 speed defense rolls.
All right. My first roll is a 12, and my second roll is a 5.
All right, so
I'll re-roll the 5. Hold on a sec. And the re-roll 5 is a 6.
All right, perfect. So the first one is the healthy one that comes at you, and it strikes at you with its tail, and you dodge out of the way, but you dodge right into the one because you thought it didn't have anything left, and just as you move to the left, it leaps, and it hits you, and it's crazy because the wires from where like you blew a part of it off, the wires and stuff come into your body, and they start shocking you, and you take 4 points of might damage.
All righty. Good thing I got all that healing before this fight started.
And we're back at the top of the initiative. So that would be Steel Wolf.
Wait, the Crazy Rider take a turn against these 4 things?
And also,
So Crazy Rider, the first portion of this, what he did was oh right, no, it is your turn. You had a
my turn, yeah.
You had low initiative. I'm sorry.
Did Maggot drop a gun in her mess?
Maggot had no gun. Maggot didn't use guns. Remember, she controlled insect swarms and whatnot.
Gosh, I wasn't sure she had something back up here. All right, so is there enough space for me to get into my vehicle right there and try to? Well, actually, they're all on top people. I don't want to hit my friends here.
You're the Crazy Rider.
I am the Crazy Rider. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm getting into the vehicle.
No. Remember, it's a motorcycle with a sidecar.
You're right.
So you can actually, and this is just for flavoring. I mean, if I were you, I mean, you could summon it without the sidecar if you wanted to.
That's how I imagined it too, honestly.
Oh, okay. In that case, I mean, it's already summoned and it's out and it's already smashed her. I never sent it away again. Because I would take an action. So I'm going to get into it. Maybe it doesn't have the sidecar, but I'm going to use this so I can attempt to run one of them over that is... Oh, wait, I have the one that tried to attack me. I wanted to... I'm going to use my motorcycle now to whip the end around, spinning it in place in a circle so that I can hit this thing.
Okay.
While I try and shoot the one that's on top of Bennett.
Okay, go for it.
All right, so I'll be 2 attack rolls. So do the one for me first. I rolled a 6, but that is ease twice.
It hits.
All right. In that case, that would be 6 damage.
Okay.
And while I'm, I don't have anything to shoot with the other one, so ignore me shooting. I don't have a gun.
Right. So you just use your your vehicle as a weapon.
Yeah, that's it.
Run them over.
In the circle, making all the smoke coming off the tires. Place smells like burned rubber, but I just smacked that one into the wall.
All right. And back at the top of the initiative, so that's you there, Steel Wolf.
So if I can, I'd like to use some effort to make my gun do like a spray to try to mow down as many as you would allow, like just to like to lay down a cover fire.
I mean, it's a flechette blast, so yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, so I'll do
you
that.
You can try to get to near two of them in your sights.
I'll go for that. And would you like me to use 1 effort or 2 effort to do that?
Whatever, it's up to you. One
All right.
effort is
1 effort. So I'll use 1 effort to go ahead and make my blast and AoE to try to get 2 of them. And I'm not going to use any other effort. And I rolled a natural 1, and I'm going to keep it.
all right. So just as you're getting ready to do that, the one that was on the wall that went to attack you the first time leaps off and like it lands right on your arm, and it's like and it's running up your arm towards your face, and the stinger is coming straight at your forehead. Give me a speed defense roll.
15.
But it's hindered because
So I rolled a 15 still. I think that dodges. You said
that
4,
does
yeah.
dodge.
So I move my head out the way. You see it?
Yeah, it just shoots the tail at you. Bennett.
Quick thing, we forgot the reporter. He didn't act at all.
Don't worry, I haven't forgotten the report.
I'm pissed because this thing stung me the last time. Can I grab it and spin it into the other one?
Yeah, go for it.
So, do I first grab to attack and then because I want to apply my I'll apply my effort to grab it because my strength power would be add to the damage on attack, right? Because I'm using
grappling.
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right, I got a natural 1, and I have no XP. I wasted my XP.
I'll give you EXP to reroll. I have 2.
Let's check it out.
It's just your call. All right.
No.
Go for it.
Okay, so, just as all of that is happening, suddenly, what's his name? What's the reporter's name? Mr. Manning.
Burt Manley.
Yeah, Mr. Manley. Mr. Manley steps forward, and you guys looks really weird because remember how you remember he got a little beefy after you juiced him up with the stem pack. You can tell it's Mr. Manley, but his clothes have changed. He's now wearing this black and silver armor, and he's got this cool visor on, but his eyes glow this like really brilliant emerald green. And he raises his hand like this. And when he raises his hand, you see these green sparks and energy wrap around his hand, and there's a flash. And all of the uh, you know, all of the little, robotic monstrosities that were attacking you, they just and they're dormant. And you guys actually recognize this guy. You've heard of him before. And they call him Pulse, you know. And he looks at you, he goes, so you've all passed the initiation. You have a choice now. You can join the consortium, or you can continue to be a lackey for that fool, Dr. Destroyer. But we see your potential. And with some good training, you all would be extremely useful. What do you say?
Here's what I say. I say as long as we can get on the cover photo for for the Villain magazine, I think we can strike a deal here. Just think of it, promotion story.
I
Oh,
say
you'll definitely be on the cover of, was it Villains Digest?
Villains Elite.
Villains Elite.
Quicksilver, he assesses the situation. He sees a dead dreadnought in pieces and the robot's down. He sees, what is it, maggots like smeared across the ground. And he says, "This was one elaborate test." But like I'm assuming that we know the consortium is like a well reputable villain
Oh yeah.
organization.
The consortium is basically Dr. Destroyer's competition.
And you say, oh, he says, Keen says, after what Doctor D Head said to us, tried to do to us, you can count us in. At least me.
I only have one request.
And what might that be?
If you ever have a son that has a bar mitzvah, could I not be the last person invited?
Oh my god.
He goes, humor to the end, huh, Bennett?
Villains do villainous things.
I like it. I like it a lot. Fade to black. And that was GM Roulette, people.
Supers edition.
That was a lot of fun.
It was a
Villains
lot of
do
fun.
Villains.
Quick epilogue. Quick epilogue.
Yeah, we could do
It's a
that.
week later, and the latest edition of Villains Elite is hitting the newsstand, and on the cover, there's multiple. There's like the multiple cover edition. You've got the crazy driver popping a wheelie, sidecar and all, looking at the camera like that. The next picture is Steel Wolf, crouched down in a stealthy pose, gun up and ready to go, And then the next one, you have Bennett in a long black trench coat with the high collar that comes up and you can just see her eyes. She got a little bob haircut, so you can't tell if she's a guy or a girl. She's got on dark sunglasses. And she says, yeah. I mean, and the caption reads, even a villain looks good.
And our team photo is the selfie with a smashed maggot.
That's on the cover of Villain Elite.
That's the regular cover. That's the regular cover. Everybody, they got maggot smashed in the selfie with everybody in it.
Oh, but yeah, that was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you, Dean, for wrapping that up so nicely. I honestly did not see that was gonna end that way, but A plus. And stay tuned next week where we'll be discussing our little foray into Super's GM Roulette, and it'll be like that last little recap we did where we discussed what we liked, what we had a hard time with, what we might do differently next time, all that good stuff that comes with that I forget what the word is, but past vision.
Improvisation?
No, the pat like seeing something from the
Hi-
past. Hindsight,
Oh, yeah.
hindsight.
Hindsight.
I don't know why that word escaped me, but hindsight. But yes, with
Don't
that
really look
hindsight,
forward, man.
and yeah. So, do you guys have any other parting
Yeah.
words there?
Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And please give us any feedback you can, good, bad, or indifferent. All feedback is appreciated and accepted. And thanks a lot.
It was
Thank
a
you,
lot of fun.
everybody.
Yeah, thank you. This was fun.
And thank you, Stephen, for joining us again for this. It's been a pleasure having you along with our videos. And
Real quick,
go on.
so everyone knows, new GM month is coming in January. New GM month. Um, we would like to do a special promotional GM roulette with some new GMs just to give them the opportunity to get their feet wet. I think this would be a great way for you guys to, test out your talent, skills, whatever you learn after the end of new GM month, which ends in January. So in February, if you're really interested, get with us. We're more than willing to give you some coaching and set you free on the GM roulette. But again, there will be more.
Most
Yes.
definitely. Look forward to more GM Roulette. Look forward to new players playing GM Roulette. And of course, as usual, from us at the CU, we will see you later.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night.